Emo Social Club. We're here with Pat from Movements.
Howdy.
Holy shit.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like I don't have to apologize to you directly, but I was not familiar with your work.
Okay.
And then I got familiar with your work, and now I love your work.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm like, it's one of those things where everybody says, you're going to really like Movements. And I go, I'm not listening to Movements.
That's
I'm
so
never going
funny.
to check it out. And then I finally did. I'm like, wait, this is so good.
I get that. I think I've had a few of those in the past where you hear about a band so much that you're almost turned off by how much people want you to listen to them, and then you're kind of just like, I don't give a fuck. And then you start listening, you're like, damn, okay, I get it. Yeah.
I see what you're trying to teach me, and I've learned today.
Yeah, it happens, dude. I appreciate you giving us a chance.
Finally coming around.
Yeah.
It was very I think that it bridges the gap between like a lot of this Feel Something in particular. It bridges that gap between like the older emo stuff, like more like Midwest emo, American football type shit, but it really does like more of what the kids like grew up with, the mall emo or whatever, the Mike Hems, the Fall Out Boys, and it really bridged that gap. It's also like whenever somebody says, oh, I'm listening to this like emo song and it's like fast pop punk shit, I'm like, that's not emo. Movements does emo shit.
I appreciate you saying so, man. Yeah, I mean, I think that our band came up sort of in the middle of all of that different stuff, right? I mean, we're all big fans of like true Midwest emo. We're also big fans of like mall emo shit, like what's happening today. But at the same time, we also all grew up in the hardcore scene.
Yep.
So you kind of have this mix of like emo and pop punk and hardcore influences that are all kind of coming together into one and creating whatever it is that we do.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that we do has evolved drastically since we started as a band. And now I don't even really know how to quantify our music. It's just movements, you know?
Just stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Feel Something was that your first record?
It was our first full length.
So, I mean, you're creating, the blueprint of that one, and then you can evolve on it and create something new. I know Ruckus just came out recently. I've not listened to the whole thing.
That's okay.
Because it took me so long to get into the first record. I got to take another 5-6 years to get into
I hear you, brother.
else.
I hear you. It is our best record.
I like what I've heard so far,
Thank
so
you.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
Feel Something, the album you're playing at the festival, at this When We Were Young festival, it surprised me actually too that it is kind of like a good festival album. Like it does have songs that would do really well in like a hot sunny day in Vegas, and like that music like makes you feel good in that environment, even though it is very sad.
Yeah. I think that's kind of our bread and butter is like writing songs that sound nice and feel good, but actually are extremely depressing.
You haven't played yet today, have you?
No, we play at 6 today.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking forward to it? You're looking forward to getting this record out there?
I'm really excited. I'm interested to see how it goes over. I mean, Feel Something came out. It's funny. Feel Something came out 7 years ago today.
Yeah.
Today is the 7-year birthday of Feel Something. And we didn't expect to ever do a full album play until it turned 10, the classic like 10-year anniversary shit. But when We Were Young told us that they were doing, every band's doing an album play and that they wanted us to come and play Feel Something specifically, it's like, how do you pass that up?
How do you say
know? So yeah, we decided to do it, and we're here. We're happy. We're happy to be here. Excited to play. Really interested to see how some of the deep cuts go over.
Yeah.
Because there's like 4 or 5 songs on the record that we haven't played in years. So it'll be really interesting to see if anybody knows them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure they will, but
you have just from the people who have annoyed me to be like, you had to listen to Movements, you have a ton of fans out there.
Hell
People
yeah.
love Movements.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that.
I actually remember I do have to apologize to you because we did like reviews of all the records, and in the review I said there are some parts that sound like 21 Pilots. And a lot of people got very mad at me for that.
Interesting. In Feel Something, you feel like there's 21 Pilots.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the more like spoken parts that you do in it.
Yeah,
I was like, it does ring to me as a 21 Pilots fan. It rings like that.
To be fair,
no one liked me saying that.
To be fair, I actually take that as a compliment. 21 Pilots have done something with their band where they have been able to transcend whatever it was that they started doing and turn it into a fucking massive thing, right? That's the blueprint, baby.
Yeah.
I'm fucking in. If we are anything like 21 Pilots, I will take that as a compliment. I hope that we also get as big as them.
Perfect. I get to send that to all the haters now.
Fuck them. Who cares? Everybody's going to have something to say.
We got 3 questions we ask everybody. The first one, what is the most emo song you are listening to right now?
Right now? Shit. Oh, God. I mean, to be fair, I have been on like an American football kick again. I mean, obviously American football is like one of my all-time favorite bands. I absolutely love American football. And I just saw them do 20 years of American football in the UK. We played a festival with them called Outbreak. Got to watch them play the record in its entirety. It changed my life. And since then, I've been like back on a kick of American football. You know, like it wasn't really in my regular rotation for a while, and now it's like back in my regular rotation. So like probably that. I don't know actually though. There's
that's pretty emo.
It is pretty fucking emo. I guess I don't listen to as much emo shit as I used to though. So these days it's like harder to quantify.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, everybody says Chapel Roan and Charlie and Sabrina Carpenter, so it's like,
are they really emo
no,
though?
But
like
the question is funny because then you can say whatever and now it's emo.
Like
those
are just straight up pop artists.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I love pop music.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Chapel Roan fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Sabrina Carpenter fan. They're not emo.
They're not emo.
It's not an emo
But
band.
everybody loves it. Everybody's
still,
talking like
it's still great.
Yeah,
still great.
Second question. What do you think about the legacy of Feel Something and how it's been 7 years, so not as long as a lot of albums on this fest, but what do you think has like changed in the 7 years that Feel Something and Movements has been playing that out?
It's funny because when we wrote Feel Something, it was like a challenge, right? Like we had never written a full-length album, and I really struggled writing it. Like, so to me, I look back on Feel Something, and I am proud of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking proud of that record. We're all proud of it, and we're so grateful for, like, what it's done for our band. But at the same time, like, I look back on that album, and I think about, like, who I was as a person and, like, who I was as a writer, and I compare it to our more recent stuff, and I'm like, man, like, I don't get why this is our most popular record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that the music that we write nowadays and how I feel personally as a writer and how I think the rest of the band also feel as musicians and as songwriters, we all feel like our newer music is like miles beyond what we would have written in the Feel Something era. I still think the music is great from Feel Something, and I love that album, and I will always love it. But I am surprised that that's the one that did it for us.
Yeah.
It's sort of interesting, and for it to be already kind of considered like it's only been out for 7 years, but it's already kind of considered like a more of like a nostalgia kind of album. I think maybe there's just like nostalgia kind of built into the sound of what that album is, and maybe that's why it connects.
Absolutely.
And it also is a very deeply emotional record, but at the same time, everything that we've ever written, even past that, is also deeply emotional.
Yeah.
It's just like not as in your face. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more like tucked in there. And if you really dive into what I'm saying, you're like, oh shit, that's like kind of dark.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, I do Emo Night's CD Burners podcast.
Cool,
like, I edit that, and they were like, dude, he's like going through some shit on this record, and I'm like, you seem just like a very like kind of like chill dude, like nice and like happy about it. I'm like, damn man, like you okay, dude?
I'm really good at masking.
We are.
I'm actually not okay, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm here.
This is why we have this festival, to bring us all together and figure it out. The last question, dream tour. If you could go on tour with anybody, who would you go on tour with?
Title Fight.
I feel like that's like pretty clear. Yeah.
Title Fight is my favorite band of all time. They will always be my favorite band of all time. I would kill to go on tour with them. Title Fight. Also John Mayer.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a little curveball. I like that.
I love John Mayer.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Knocked Loose played last night with See You Space Cowboy and then Spanish love songs in the middle of it.
Yeah, I heard
and I'm
about
like,
that.
Wait, that's fire. There should be more bands like
I love
not
a mixed
exactly
bill.
like a hardcore.
Yeah,
shit.
I love a mixed bill. When we toured with Knocked Loose, it was the same thing. It was Koyo opening, pop punk band, Kublai Khan second, us, and then Knocked Loose. I think shit like that is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because you don't. I personally don't want to go to a show and be bombarded with 6 fucking heavy bands playing breakdowns and like, you know, like after 2 of that, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I like
break.
having a variety of things to listen to at one show. I think it's fucking sick. I don't know a single person in the world who only listens to one genre of music. So why would you only want to listen to one genre for an entire show?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I am worried about the people who do only listen to one genre.
Dude, freaks.
Where can people find you on the internet? Where can they listen to the new music? Where can they just go to see Movements live?
Yeah, we're on everything. If you type in Movements, you'll probably find us. Movements Official on Instagram, Movements CA on Twitter, or X, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even have that anymore.
It's Twitter. I don't care.
Fucking YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. New music next year, maybe.
Good.
We'll see.
Let's do it. We made it. We made news here today.
Hell yeah.
Pat, thank you so much.
Thank you
this
for having me,
rad.
man.
Thank
I
so much,
appreciate
man.
you.
Dude.
Awesome.